town you never heard of. Hey everybody, welcome to the Common Folk Podcast with Ben, Morgan, and Andy.
Welcome back to Common Folk.
That's right, podcast for the people, by the people.
There it is, guys.
All right.
Got a couple banger of broadcasts coming up here, so I got to get that voice right.
Oh, okay.
Today or this week?
Yep, today and tomorrow. And
well, good. You don't sound like you got anything. We got I do have this nasal stuff. I literally rolled out of bed and hit the wall.
You rolled and just kept rolling until you hit the wall?
Well, I stood up and I was off balance and was like, what the fuck? I'm not drunk. I haven't drank anything. I told Ben, I'm like, you didn't hear that? He's like, no. I straight boom, bang.
Jeez.
Yeah. This girl is
Weird.
something special today. I got a stain on my sweatshirt.
So Ben, what's that all about?
Listen, it looks
tell
like
ya.
coffee. I already decided I have a story for this.
I don't comment on these things anymore.
Oh, stop.
Steer clear.
Yeah.
I you know what? As a lady, it takes forever to get dressed because you just stare at your clothes like, oh, what mood am I in? This sucks.
Yeah.
Do I feel like, yep, oversized sweatshirt. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, got to that point. Had a stain. I was like, you know what? Screw that. I'm just going to say I spilled coffee on it.
Oh, okay.
But I think this stain just hasn't come out.
That just lives there. That just lives there now. So you got your story preloaded, ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. I looked at it and I was like, oh, okay.
That's
and I'm
comforting.
drinking coffee out of the original one and only best dad ever.
Oh, nice.
So I am the dad today.
You're all sorts of put together.
This is so how this shit's going today.
Stole my
and it
cup.
even says established when I was born.
That is awesome. I like the chip out of it, too.
Yeah, it
gives
does have a chip out of it.
Yeah, it gives it a little character there.
Anybody else have a good morning? Your voice is ready.
Yeah.
You're not sick?
No, but my co-host for the sports betting podcast, he's been so sick and down and out the last 2 weeks, we had to cancel last week's show. Yeah.
Like he didn't have a voice or he just felt that ill?
Didn't have a voice and couldn't get out of bed.
Oh, shoot.
So, and you could still hear it in his voice this week, but we pulled it together and we had to.
Now, who's your co-host? Who are we talking about? Your brother?
We've had him on the show. Jeremy Odom, a local comedian.
Okay, yeah.
Just Laugh With Me podcast, hilarious guy. And Jared Gibran.
Yeah.
He still contributes, but he lives back on the ranch now.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a new co-host
For the Everyday Show. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And Gibran kind of stays in his wheelhouse and gives us the UFC picks and
Gotcha.
NBA stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We're expanding.
I got it.
Yeah.
I
Nice.
like it. What do you got this morning? I mean, I already roasted Ben at home
I
today.
haven't done anything at all this morning.
I know.
Just got up. I had my AG1. Got a little bit of coffee
Right
here.
on. Right on.
I haven't even had breakfast yet. I'm hungry.
I'm sorry, I didn't have time to make eggs, but he put that outfit on. I was like, what are we on day 3 with this outfit? I was rolling this morning, Andy. I was like, I
Wow.
look like shit. You're going to look like shit.
See, this is what happens. You can't shine. You can't.
You're put in the corner.
Yeah, you can't be your own special power.
Oh my God.
The tone, the whole tone has to be set by the lady in the house. It's either I don't even get to decide if it's gonna be a good day or a bad day, or if I'm gonna.
It's been predetermined for you. Yeah. Well,
No, it's because he rolled out of bed a little bit late, and those were the clothes that were still there from the night before.
they're working.
He'll shower later. We're just not there yet.
And that's kind of a more of an American thing. You don't have to shower every day.
Oh.
And there's even studies to show that that's not the
Yes,
most.
that's the Ben motto.
Yeah.
Morgan's
Yeah, I don't think you
take 4 a
should.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're washing away all your natural oils and stuff. That
Plus, you're
condition your
wasting
skin.
so much water.
Oh, stop,
That too.
Mr. Money Guy.
I'm not talking about from a money standpoint. I'm talking about
okay.
from an environmental standpoint.
Oh, I thought you were talking about we're trying to save money over
Water
here.
is a very precious resource,
for sure.
Yeah, it is.
and you just flush it down the drain.
But when I said it to you, I was like, oh my God, look at you, day 3. I was all
Whatever.
sweet about it.
No,
if you
I
wouldn't
didn't
say
take it that
anything,
way.
I wouldn't have known. Yeah, he doesn't have a stain on his
It
sweatshirt.
actually isn't day 3, it's day 2. It's okay.
Yep, mine looks.
But he's counting.
Mine looks cleaner than yours.
True. Very true. What's your story, though? I got a story
Yeah.
for my stain.
He doesn't have a stain.
Yeah,
do
I don't need a story.
Yeah.
I've had enough
I
of
do
this.
like that hoodie, though. 50 Mile March.
Yep. 50 Mile
Looks
March.
good.
Yes.
Hey, so give us an update on that. Where's the end point now? You said there's a new route.
Well, I think they haven't come out with it yet, but we don't. So I went to the meeting. They have not said where the end point is either, and no one asked in the sesh.
Oh.
So I almost raised my hand, and then I was like, no.
Yeah. Read the room.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not sure. I'm volunteering this year. I can't walk. I got to have some surgery on my hip.
Oh, okay. Yeah, don't screw that up.
So yeah, unfortunately, I can't walk. I tore my labrum in my hip.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so that surgery's coming up real soon.
So you're doing like just regular yoga? You weren't doing hot yoga to get all ready to go before you're stretching? You're stretching that hard? Just cold?
No, it was just like a progressive thing. Like this is
Years and years of wear and tear?
Yeah,
Okay.
basically. Yeah, so this old lady is getting some hip problems.
Okay.
That's when you know it's all going downhill when the hips start going.
It's not a hip replacement. It's the step under it. We're just shaving some bone. We're getting some new cartilage.
Like a scope. You're doing a scope?
Yeah, it's like
I actually
a
had to do that with their shoulder.
5-month recovery.
Yeah,
You
wow.
know?
Yeah.
I'll be on some crutches, hip brace, the whole gamut.
Take it easy.
But yeah, it's all right. I mean, I'm going to be on the other side this year, which will be kind of cool to volunteer and see what it feels like to be on the other side for the 50 Mile March. I definitely want to still help them.
Yeah, that's
in that way.
I think that's a good thing in a lot of fields. Like you should have a rounded perspective.
I agree.
Not just the performer, not just the behind the scenes. Just get a feel for all of it.
Basically, do it all. Yeah. I always feel like this guy over here always says that too with work. With a job.
Well, you have a much
as being the boss, you should probably be able to do it all.
and it's good to fill that role of being the worker bee. So you just, if nothing else, you have that general knowledge.
Yeah, for
of
sure.
what the person's dealing with. That's a big reason why on all these broadcasts, I go out of my way to get the names of the officials and mention them throughout the broadcast. Say their names, and then talk about a little tidbit. I know a lot of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this guy did a great job at state last year. Remember that one game? It was just something you don't always hear, and people do talk about that.
That's true.
The one thing about your broadcast, you always talk about the officials. I'm like, well, I kind of have to.
Yeah.
My father has a 25-year plaque from doing football and basketball, and he officiated for a lot longer than 25 years.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they're very important. Hello.
yeah, and there's such a shortage of them, too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
shout out one of the officials last week in the Heartland Athletic Conference Championship game.
Okay.
A former Bobcat, a classmate of mine at Peru State, Macho Wilson. I think he's originally from the Chicago area. Married a gal from Falls City. Mm-hmm. His son had the highlight of all highlights, and he's just this little 5'9", 5'10" dude on a fast break, and it's him versus 6'5" dude, and he just attacks the rim, goes up, and dunks it with authority. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, 5'9".
Yeah, it was awesome, and that like triggered the route was on.
Yeah.
Then the highlight reel pursued, and he hit a couple big threes. So it was pretty cool seeing the next wave.
Yeah.
Kind of get
That
after
is
like
cool.
that. So congratulations, Macho, and like I said, he's a pretty darn good basketball official. And
That's a
pretty
pretty
cool.
stud, badass name. Macho?
Macho.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds
Yeah.
like he's a BA.
Speaking of studs, that's what I want to talk about today.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. So I was...
Like, you're going to talk about yourself or what?
Oh, that's nice. After all that mean stuff you said this morning. So you guys know I love movies. And I'm not like a movie buff, like I know all of them or all that kinds of things, but I just really like to watch them.
Yeah.
And especially like older ones, like from when we were younger. And just the last few weeks, like I've been watching a few here and there. I usually just pick one at night, whatever the random movie is. Mm-hmm. I started coming to this realization, thinking about raising boys.
Oh,
so we talk about like this this guy thing that we were talking about, that you were saying earlier, and looking at the guys in the movies and realizing how different it was then. And, everything changes, of course, know, and some for the good, some for the bad. But realizing how different it was for those actors and like the characters they portrayed compared to what we see on TV today. Mm-hmm. And then I started thinking, like, what kind of effect did that have on me, you know, when I was growing up, when I was watching these guys?
Yeah.
And what kind of effect is it having on our boys today? And what are we doing today?
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk a little bit about that whole idea and those dudes, from yesterday compared to the dudes today. I was hoping that in one way or another, you guys would be able to, like, pull me out of the ditch, because I'm a little down on it. And trying to think like what do we do? Like, all is lost, you know. Right.
But you got to give us an example of who you're thinking of.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So what do you, first of all, what do you, I don't know why I can't think of the word, like when you're
masculine?
No, when you're looking up to somebody, like
idolize.
You're trying to be like somebody. I guess it could kind of be like idolize.
Yeah.
They're like your hero.
You aspire to be that.
So I'm just thinking like the men,
the influence
that boys of our age idolized or looked up to, or strived to become. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can think about that when you look at any of these old movies or TV shows or whatever. There was somebody, or maybe multiple somebodies that you looked at and you're like, I want to be that dude.
Like,
sure.
Like you might have even been a young kid and playing out in the yard pretending to be that dude.
You know, this is interesting because on a just kind of a whim, like last thing before I went to bed, this guy was breaking down, it was on YouTube, and it was a breakdown of A Christmas Story. Mm-hmm. And how the reason that movie has lasted so long, it makes everybody feel so good, and everybody fills their role. Mom is like this caring, nurturing, keeping everything together. Mm-hmm. Dad is this godlike. He compared him to godlike. He's not kind. He is demanding, but he's keeping it together. He's putting food on the table. He's providing. He's protecting. Meanwhile, Mom's like keeping him on the rails. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the boy, is it Ralphie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going through this transition where he idolizes cowboys in the West, and he thinks he needs this thing in order to do it. And so he's playing by the rules. He's writing all these letters. He's being kind, saying please and thank you. But in reality, he's just doing what he thinks he needs to do.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting how this guy tied it together. When he gets in that fight, he stands up for himself, stands up for his family, and his mom's not mad. His dad's not mad. God's not mad. He's like, well, sometimes you got to break some eggs to make an omelet, type of talk. And that's when he has this realization, I don't need a BB gun to grow up, to be a man, to become a man. Mm-hmm. He has a big smile on his face when he goes to bed.
Yeah.
Because he thought he was going to be in big trouble.
Right.
And then Dad, and he made an interesting point. Ralphie never asked Dad for the BB gun. And that there's a lot to that, why he didn't do that. Because he didn't think, well, for one, and deep down, he didn't think he deserved it. Like God he's not going to reward me. I'm not doing enough.
Like he wanted it, but he never would ask for it.
Yeah,
I think he was scared of his dad.
Yeah, he was.
Or scared of the answer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't feel he deserved it. So he's asking Mom, he's asking Santa.
The softy. Yeah.
He's doing all these things. But then after he goes through that transformation, gets in that fight, and he feels good about himself, that's when God does bestow that gift.
Yeah.
And it was all Dad too. And mom was saying the whole time, no, it's, she was a little reluctant.
Yeah.
You really could poke your eye out or shake your eye out, And then Dad went above it and kind of behind her back,
So for me, like on that story, compared to, excuse me, what we're talking about right now, is I think about, like you were saying, he's watching those Westerns, like there's those guys that he's looking up to.
Yeah.
whoever it is at the time.
Shane.
There would be a specific actor or something, I'm sure, that
John Wayne.
Yeah, it could, who it could be that.
Yeah.
That he wants to be like, and that he's learning things from, And in the back of his mind, you know, when he decides it's time to fight, like he's seen those guys fight.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's given him that motivation.
Sure.
And I got to thinking about like the role that these characters play in the upbringing of a boy, and then also the role that the dad plays.
Yep.
You know, because like you just said right there, you know, I mean, the dad was a completely different guy than the dudes on the old Western TV. Mm-hmm. And dad's not going to be John Wayne, but that kid needed that influence too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he
like
definitely
he saw it.
Yeah, it helped shape who he was going to be, and it also provided something that dad wasn't. You know, that's not who dad was.
Right.
You know, but it was good for him to have that, and that's what I mean with these. You know, we can all think back about the kind of guy that our dad was, and what we strived to be.
Yeah.
Because our dad was, you know, we want to be like him. You know, he brings a lot of good things to the table, but there's also a lot of things like dads can't be everybody.
Right.
So then you see this other dude on TV who is different, and there's characteristics that you want to pick up from that guy.
Little sensationalized, right?
Yeah.
Or a time that was.
Yeah.
But it's still, sexiness isn't the right word to it, but you know what I mean.
Well, I think some of that's one thing that I would get into. I think some of that has gone a little bit too far. So when we look at the guys that I'm talking about, so
I need some names. I need a visualization. Who did you look up to?
I got a great name for it.
The actors and the male figures of basically like the 80s and the 90s, you know, in TV or movies or whatever. The one that's got me the most lately, because I've seen a few different of these movies, is Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That is the tippy top of male testosterone.
But here's the thing: if you go back and you watch those movies and you look at that guy, he's nothing like the dudes that you would consider playing that role today.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is, like, first of all, you see the dude, and in a lot of movies he's got his shirt off because he's fighting. He's kickboxer, whatever it is, right? He's fit, obviously.
Yeah.
But he's not like unnatural looking. You know what I mean? He doesn't just look like all he does is spend his time in the gym and pop pills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He looks like he worked hard to be fit like that.
I mean, I think his most iconic movie scene or poster or whatever is when he jumps up and does the splits.
Yeah.
Who the fuck can do that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
But that's the thing is, like, these guys are like, they're just enough out there, you know, where you're like, hey, man, I want to be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
He's a fighter. He's fit. He's a good-looking dude.
Yeah.
You know, the girls like him, all this kind of stuff. But the other thing that I realized is that his mentality, if you think about his mentality in all those movies, like, he was not a boastful guy. He was not like, he was never
He wasn't
bragging.
like cocky.
He was, no, not cocky at all. He was not like running around trying to kick everyone's ass. He was actually, like, if he was, it was in defense of somebody.
There's also some humor there. Like, he was always trying to be funny, and the funniest thing was him trying to be funny with his bad accent. You know?
Yeah. So I was looking at that, and I was like, man, that was definitely, I didn't even realize how much of an influence, but that was definitely a dude that had an influence on me growing up watching that and wanting to be that
alpha male.
Yeah, and also that
over the top.
Well, and not so much that, but like you said, that alpha male, but just that quiet, calm force. You know what I mean? Like, that's how he was.
Okay.
And then I got to thinking about today, and I'm like, I can't think of a dude on
either.
TV today that's like that, or in the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah, and I think I was complaining about this a while ago with the new Ninja Turtles movie that Seth Rogen is producing and turning soft, I would say. They say woke. But it really annoyed me when the Turtles decided, hey, the bad guys are actually good guys, and we just need to understand. No, they're not. We don't need to understand the bad guys. They are the bad guys. Stop. Yeah. Then they're doing this to all these old, our prized, series. But you make an interesting point about going a little too far. Here's a perfect case in point that people in the sports betting world and Super Bowl's right around the corner. What kind of came to light, and it reminded me a lot of like the 90s and flipping through Sports Illustrated magazines. The starting quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, his grandfather was one of the original Marlboro men.
Okay.
So do you remember those
Yes.
full-page print ads?
Yep.
What was on that print ad?
Cigarettes,
yeah,
bad-looking dudes.
Just
A cowboy
Exactly.
smoking a cigarette, horses
with
underneath
the
some
red
mountains.
package. Yep.
Marlboro Reds.
Yep.
His grandfather's name, this is honest to God, is Dick Hammer.
Oh, stop.
I'm not even joking. His name was
Okay,
legal
well,
name
he
was
fit
Richard.
the part then if
Yeah.
he's going to be a Marlboro
And
man.
you should see this dude's chin, just chiseled,
Okay.
big old red mustache, and he wore his cowboy hat down like that. And his name is Dick Hammer. And so, like, in sports betting, circles, I'm like, well, that's it. The Seahawks are winning. They're going to cover. They're going to win. There's just
This dude's lineage.
Yeah.
Like, how's he not, right?
And his middle
Yeah.
name is Dick. Sam's
Yeah.
middle name is Dick. It's like, well, this is over. They're
Yeah.
one of the original Marlboro men.
Sam Darnold?
Yep, Sam
Okay.
Darnold.
There it is.
You should. Oh my God! Now all the memes are coming out. It's
Dick
hilarious.
Hammer.
Dick Hammer, holy shit! But there you go. That quiet, calm, tough, rugged, what we aspire to
yes,
be.
just a commercial. That's so true when you say that. That's like what you and yeah.
But didn't it go a little too far? Because all right, in order to be that, I need to smoke Reds.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right,
Then
Yeah,
I'd flip
true.
the page and oh, if I want friends and have a good time, I need to drink Bud Light.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there was. And that's what opens the door for it to swing so far the other way. It's like, you were exploiting, young men on this one. You're making them think in order to be that.
For sure, yeah.
They had to smoke some heaters. It was just a different time. A funny video came up of it was 1972, and it was the head basketball coach in the NBA for the 76ers. He's on the sideline smoking a cigarette, yelling at his guys. And the announcer's not even noticing that. He's just like, yeah, he's got a young team. He's got to get after these young men. Pulls the cigarette out of his mouth of his right hand, puts his left hand, and he's got two heaters going.
Stop.
He's smoking two cigarettes on the sideline
That's hilarious.
while coaching. So there you go. That's a little too far. Right?
Yeah.
You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So is there somebody like Ben said that you can remember? Like a real man in a or in a movie.
Well, Dick Hammer for sure. I didn't even know his name, and I wanted to be
Well,
him.
outside of that, no. Movie wise, or no?
I think an easy answer to this, and this is one guy who hasn't changed, and try it out. That's why I think an entire generation's like, well, the only action hero ever is Tom Cruise.
Uh-huh.
He is so good at story writing a story, developing a story, and then if the script is a little off, he'll just straight up tell the producers or the directors, we got to change this, or I'm not doing it, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that dude understands what men are, what men should aspire to be. And I don't even care about Tom Cruise, but the people he plays, the characters, Top Gun, even the new one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a badass,
Yeah.
and so I would say those Days of Thunder, I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are some iconic big movies, that's who you kind of wanted to be. And he had flaws,
Yeah.
but they're wild boy flaws. He's got to learn. He's got to be
Yeah.
like Ralph. He's got to go through it. He's got to learn it.
As you guys are talking, it's making me think, I don't know if really I thought about that as a girl, but definitely if there was what is attractive to me. And I always thought it was more like what you're saying, like the cowboy workout people.
The NASCAR driver that's going too fast and wrecking and saying, hell with it. He wins every,
Yeah.
But I don't know if it, to your point, it might have done something for little girls too, to be like, oh, that's kind of a man that I want. And now, obviously,
sure,
I
yeah.
cannot think that I sat there and was like, that's who I want to date. Like, I don't remember doing that ever, but it's got to have been in there.
Yeah.
And when we look at dudes and even ladies, in movies or commercials or whatever from back then compared to now, like the people back then, if you go back and look at it, you're like, that's achievable. Like that's a regular looking person. Like I mean, some of them obviously, like you take like Arnold Schwarzenegger or something like that, which I think he was a great one as well. But he'd been a little over the top. Like we're not going to be built like Arnold, all right?
The chopper.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's
But
a stretch.
A lot of them, you look at some of these old movies, like dudes take their shirts off and they're just like regular looking dudes. You know what I mean? But they're sex symbols at the time or whatever.
Even Sylvester Stallone is a great example.
There you go.
Yeah,
All of
that's
his
a good one.
characters that he wrote, and he was he had big muscles and all that, but on purpose, he didn't have as big as muscles as who he fought.
Yeah.
He always
Yeah.
played that underdog role, the everyday man from Philadelphia.
Stallone is another one, man. That's a great example.
Yeah.
Like, you look at Rocky, you look at Rambo.
First Blood.
Again, he's the calm, quiet, collected force.
Yeah.
And but like he's bad and that dude's gonna win. Where I feel like today so much of what we
He
see
didn't
is
even
like
win in his first movie. It was
Yeah.
a draw.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
So, think of how
I feel
manly
like
that is.
for sure. But today, so much of what you see is like it's got to be so loud and so crazy, and and I think another thing that you will be able. First of all, let me go back for a second. Another one that I saw that I think on a little bit different plane, but same kind of thing is Michael J. Fox. So all the movies that he was in, obviously Back to the Future. That's
He was
one that
super
I love.
average dude. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But yeah.
But he did a bunch of them, Teen Wolf, whatever else. But he was always just a cool guy.
Nice guy. Yeah.
Nice
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, like
Funny,
you
with quip.
You're learning stuff from whatever. Like
He was little.
somebody you could definitely look up to.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? As far as like the kind of guy he
Yeah.
is.
Like the guy that's everybody's friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well, he's still a leader, though.
that's what I was gonna say. And also not like you see in the movies not only willing to be pushed so far and
Yeah, true.
not get stepped on and his battle with Biff and all the things that go along with that, right? But also what I was thinking about was sports figures. So that obviously was a huge part of that influence for young boys as well.
Sure, of course.
And when we were growing up, looking at some of the guys that we were looking at compared to what we see today, and I think a lot of it is also because of how much we know about everybody nowadays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we didn't know things about our favorite sports players that
You
we
just
do
had
know
their card.
today. Yeah. But if you look back at some of these dudes, like some of the guys that I looked up to, like Frank Thomas or Bo Jackson or whatever, like those were dudes that I wanted to be like.
Oh, of course.
And that was the 80s and 90s. People talk about racism and shit like that. That wasn't even crossing my mind. Like I wanted to be freaking Bo, man.
Yeah. Everybody wanted to be Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were always good dudes.
Yeah.
I remember my mom one time, because she flew a lot for work, she met Frank Thomas on an airplane.
No, really?
Yeah, and she was chatting with him. She's like, you look familiar. Like, and she figured out who he was. Oh, my son loves you. Because I had like the cards and I had the Beckett's and all the things
You have
hanging
the one
in my
where he's
room.
flipping you off? Do you have that one?
I don't have a flip off one.
Oh,
No.
that's a high dollar upper deck card.
I'll have to look. I'll have to look. But anyway, she got him to sign something for me, and then comes back, and I was like, this is crazy, man.
Yeah.
Frank Thomas,
Yeah.
Where nowadays it feels like, so many of the big names are like in some kind of scandal or,
Sure.
whatever they're doing
Yeah.
off the court or off the field or whatever is
Yeah.
something problematic, making bad decisions, and I know that's not everybody, but that's
Yeah.
a lot of what we hear.
Right.
And so then I go back to, that's exactly what's influencing our boys, because I know it was influencing me. Mm-hmm. So what are the boys seeing?
Well, it's chipping away at their confidence in society and how it's built and what it takes to be a good man. Because look at the Paul brothers, Jake Paul and his stupid ass brother Logan.
Yeah.
I mean, Logan scammed millions and millions of people out of millions and millions of dollars and didn't skip a beat. Now he's going to be on Monday Night Raw or what the hell ever, So yeah, there is some mixed signals there, and it also goes kind of in line with don't meet your heroes.
Yeah.
We had this sugar-coated perspective that Michael Jordan's a great guy, has a great family. Oh, no. He has demons. He got caught in such a terrible gambling scandal that it sounds like bookies murdered his father, and the NBA was going to suspend him, so he just quit for 2 years. And that took care of that.
Oh,
So,
see, I didn't even know any of that.
But imagine if that was just on the podcast the day after it happened, and we
exactly.
all know.
Yeah.
Instead, that was turned into a story like, Michael Jordan's so goddamn good, he's just going to quit basketball in his prime and take on baseball because he likes baseball, and he already hit a home run. Wow. Like, it was so, I don't know. And see, that there you go. It was too far one way, and it opened the door to just whoosh, throw. Now it's front and center. Everybody has a podcast. I feel bad for these UFC guys because they're like, you're almost like forced to tell your story. How bad did you have it? How did your dad beat you? Tell us about that. It's like, shut the fuck up. Just let them train and try and be a champion. But we don't allow that. We got to know. We got to know what's wrong with you.
And a lot of people.
Or let me rephrase it. What's right with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you have happening in your life that you just haven't had any control of? It's not your fault. It's, like you said, the podcast and the interviews and the conversations and just everything is so much in front of us, anymore that it's hard to, I don't want to say that like the dudes that we grew up with, like we had some false image of, because I don't think that was the case. Like I think a lot of these dudes, like that's how they were in real life, but there probably was some benefit to the fact that we were shielded from their personal life,
Yeah.
But also there could be some, detriment in terms of like, for some people, like, oh, that's just those people that's just something I can't achieve, and like makes people feel bad, like they can't, like it's better than them, like I'll never get there, like you hear, and I think this is part of this conversation too. You hear this a lot about girls and women of like, society's image, and we're always upheld to this, and we can't, we can't all be this, and blah blah blah. Well, that's a lot of what happens with dudes too.
Yeah. Can I take another spin at that? Put a spin on. I think everyone gets a pretty clear picture that, okay, I'm not going to be Michael Jordan, but by him putting that bar so high, that's going to elevate everybody else. You see, like a rising tide brings all ships
boats,
up. Yeah, floats all boats. I think we're missing a lot of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think women in the 60s thought of themselves as Marilyn Monroe, but the fact that this icon is there and she's looking like that, well, there's no way I'm going to go out in public or present myself, like a slob. Like, it's a whole thing now. People of Walmart, it's like, God damn, I can't believe you people are going out in public like that. And I'm not up on a high horse here. Like I'm wearing shitty blue jeans that probably should be washed
for the third day.
Yeah, for the third day. But there is something to that about having a little bit of pride in yourself and what you look like, how you carry yourself.
Yeah.
But again, a lot of that goes back to what you were brought up around, and what you saw.
Yeah.
And in the end, like our parents have a huge influence on us,
sure,
of course. But a very big part of that is what we're seeing every day as kids in the world, in media, in what we're being exposed to, and you just naturally gravitate to something.
And I honestly think today it's just different because one, they don't have just TV, right? There's not just, I can't even say what movie is gonna, like, no one really goes to, you know what I mean? They're just flipping through TikToks and they're doom scrolling. So I don't even know that these kids even know that there's a person. They're just seeing so many things, and it depends on what your algorithm is.
I think they really do know some of these YouTube personalities.
I agree.
They know those very
some
well.
Of
like
those,
they could quote those names.
It's just different. I don't think there's just I don't know, like a movie.
You just made me think of somebody, a YouTuber that I think has a lot of influence, unfortunately, in my opinion. Do you guys know who Blippi is?
Mm-mm.
No.
This fucking guy. He wears a stupid little hat with a little spinny thing on top, suspenders, bright clothes, bright glasses, and he talks like this, and he goes to places like aquariums, and he gets to go behind the scenes and pet the seals and go, wow, and walk like an idiot. And I'm just thinking, how do kids comprehend this? A grown-ass man
right.
playing on the toys, going to amusement parks, getting special treatment, and playing with the balls, talking in a dumbass voice. No, Dick Hammer. This kid needs to be
Watching.
yes. God damn it. Get on a horse. Fix a goddamn barbed wire fence.
Well,
Yeah.
if you think
You know
about
what I mean?
if you think about young kids shows like that, again, you mentioned earlier Ninja Turtles. I mean, we don't want to like grow up and look like a turtle, but we want
Right?
we want to be those dudes.
Like
Yeah.
have the mannerisms,
Yeah,
have
like
the
those
personality.
Dudes, like they're sticking up for people. They're
Fighting
strong.
evil. They're fighting
Yeah.
evil at the core.
Yeah, I
with
mean,
cool-ass weapons.
yeah, like that's the kind of stuff that we were.
They love
that we were raised
pizza.
around.
You love
That's great.
pizza.
That's freaking great.
It is. I got a great example of someone that, and you're going to hate this, but I swear to God, this male character in this new mega movie
Uh-oh. What?
is what every young man should try to be like.
Who?
It's Genu from K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh boy.
Oh gosh, I don't know who this is.
Yeah, he's the main lead. He's been damned to hell, and he has to go through a transformation to pull himself out of hell. And, and it's exactly opposite of what he thinks he needs to do. So at his, he committed a terrible sin when he was younger, and got sent to hell. Made a deal with the devil, and he thought he could outsmart the devil. And sure as shit, you can't. You got to go through it. You got to go through the fire.
Okay.
And so he had a transformation, rose to the occasion, and it was all about self-sacrifice and being a good guy. And another underlining story that I just think gets lost in a lot of that, you gotta be a little bad in order to do the most good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't just be this head in the sand, la-di-da-di, I just trying to make people happy, I just trying to do the right thing all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have that mean streak, or at least understand evil. You got to accept that evil is out there.
Yeah.
And Gino went a little too far, right? Made a deal with the devil. But after going through his transformation, I think he is the type of man all men should try to aspire to be. And,
Okay.
and that is pretty wild coming from... He's in a movie called K-pop Demon Hunter.
You really like that show.
That movie.
That's
goddamn.
Andy's favorite.
I don't. Everything about it. The story writing. The writing is immaculate, and then you got all the fun stuff, the fine colors and the girls and this and that. But there's a huge. They weren't screwing around when they wrote that script.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's some of that, and there's lessons, good lessons to be learned and things like that, then that's the kind of stuff we're talking about, that the kids need.
There's a lot of it out there, but you got to find it.
You do.
Okay,
Yeah.
but let's talk about, not to interrupt, the flip side of, like, I just keep thinking about Married with Children. Okay, so then you have guys, right? Did you guys
Homer
ever watch
Simpson?
that?
Homer
I
Simpson.
think-
I mean, Roseanne, they're all just like kind of deadbeat dads.
When I
cheated
think-
on
Like-
her twice.
When I think about that in my experience, like I watched a lot of Simpsons, and I watched a good amount of Married with Children and probably a couple of other shows. But when I think about it from what you're talking about, I don't know if it's because I had all of the other good influences
Yeah.
too. That's probably why.
Yeah,
And I had my own dad, that I saw.
that wasn't that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I saw that show as purely entertainment. Like
Okay.
I never like there wasn't
Yeah.
anybody on there that I wanted to be like or that I looked up to.
In a weird way, it was kind of like a backhanded way of how not to be. I
Yeah,
mean, here's this
yeah.
guy that's just miserable with his life, hates putting shoes on women. He has a shit job
Yeah.
that he hates. Like, it's almost like the model of how not to be.
But it didn't.
And you
like-
laugh at him.
But it
Yeah.
didn't teach you, like, okay, you want like a dingbat, big tit woman.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with big tits.
Okay, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So there was something that you were okay.
No, Peggy was not attractive at all. I never thought.
Okay.
I
Well,
mean, they're
Yeah.
What was the
Christina Applegate
the
was the daughter.
Yeah.
the daughter was cute.
I can't remember her name. Her and her brother.
Bud. Was Bud the
Yeah.
dog or was Bud the son?
I think
I
that might have
don't
been
know.
the son. Yeah.
Okay.
I always thought they were kind of funny, and she was a cute enough girl, whatever. But she
Yeah.
was not like she was too goofy.
Yeah.
You know, like
Well,
they made her like that. Like she.
Yeah, that was once again that was a little over the top of just a modern family.
Okay.
You know,
I just didn't know
living in
if
the
that.
suburbs.
So you took that as pure entertainment. Where I'm wondering if people are listening, thinking, because you're a deep thinker, never really thought about it at the level of that you're thinking with the guys that you're talking about, John Claude Van Damme or whatever. Like they just watched the movie, but they weren't thinking, ooh, I kind of like that, or I want to be that. They just did it.
I think that those feelings it's not something that's exclusive to somebody who thinks deep or anything like that. It's just you see that and you're immediately like, that's a cool dude. That's what I want to be like.
You think it's just there no matter what?
I think for the most part, there's
Okay.
definitely obviously people who aren't gonna latch onto that or don't want to be like that. But I think the majority would be like, that's somebody I look up to.
You know, you said Arnold Schwarzenegger. One of his big iconic movies that really propelled him, I would say, it was Predator. Mm-hmm. And that band of brothers, that team that they assembled, every one of those guys was cool as hell. You know, and they all are men of honor and there for their teammates and whatever. Like, so you could out of the whatever there was 5 or 6 of those guys, you could kind of put yourself into whichever one you like the most or which one you identify with the most.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the Ninja Turtles. Those 4 brothers all have crazy different, personality types, and that's done on purpose.
Yeah.
You know, that's trying to reel in as many as possible. But
I mean,
in this case, I think it's a good thing, right?
So I just typed in 80s badass guys. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Harrison Ford, I would say be a good one.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis, Kurt Russell, Mel Gibson.
That's crazy. I forgot about Harrison Ford, and how could you? Like,
Steven
he's the
Seagal.
coolest of them all. Han
Yeah.
Solo.
Yeah. I felt like
Indiana
we were
Jones.
Indiana
missing
Jones.
somebody.
Yeah.
Yes.
And see, he was a professor and a badass.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they
no,
did
he was-
have
he was
they
great
have
in
in
that.
here Jean-Claude Van Damme. Those were the top ones, top 10. So
I'm pretty sure there's a Simpsons quote out there where Bart said something like, well, all men should try to be Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and to a lower extent, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Like they included him, but they made him a tier so lower.
yeah, it's just interesting to me. Oh yeah, Chuck Norris.
Yeah, he'd have
That's
been
another one,
before us,
they
but yeah,
said.
he was a good one.
Yeah. So there's top 10 Mel Gibson. Yeah.
I just typed in a couple, like trying to look at each like decade, and even the Google search, like the names it comes up with, it's like, really? I just typed in male figures to look up to from the 90s.
Oh,
so we were
you
talking
did
about,
90s.
We were talking about 80s
Okay.
and 90s, so
Yeah,
I
let's
want to
hear
say
it.
like what's 90s.
Will Smith.
Will Smith is on there.
Oh
yes.
my
Yeah.
gosh,
Yeah.
you did?
Yeah.
I would have not picked
And he's
that.
decent. I would put Will Smith in that list.
Okay.
I mean, I
guess.
loved
Fresh
Fresh
Prince.
Prince.
Prince. Yep. And then
Should we all sing it?
I had his CD. He became a
Oh yeah, Big Willie style.
yeah.
Yes.
Getting jiggy with it.
And I
Na 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 na.
I
na.
freaking love Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Martin Short.
So some of these in here though, like that it comes up with Johnny Depp, Freddie Prinze Jr. I remember that dude.
Oh yeah.
Brendan Fraser, he was actually pretty good. And then it shows athletes: Jordan, Beckham. It says Tupac. I don't really know why. I guess people looked up to him, but he was obviously a gangster.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a few there, and then I did. Where was it? Modern male figures to look up to. One of the first ones that comes up is The Rock.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought about him earlier when I was thinking about some of those, tough dudes from the 80s and 90s. And yeah, I mean, I think he's got something modern,
Sure.
for kids to look up to for the most part. He does a pretty good job. He usually plays pretty good characters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's kind of that calm, collected guy. I think he kind of fits that bill.
John Cena is another one. And
He's not bad. But those guys,
He's a
those
little
guys
more
are
rowdy.
And to me, those guys are getting into that point where I was talking about. You take a Jean-Claude Van Damme, and is he achievable compared to a Rock or a John Cena or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
you're never gonna look like that dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that just ain't happening. Like that's a bigger than life figure almost. You know what I mean? Where I felt like some of the figures that we had weren't bigger than life.
Yeah.
They were somebody that we could actually meet. But when I was thinking through today for myself, there was a couple that I came up with, even just as we were sitting here, to make me feel a little bit better about modern society.
Oh, okay. What? Who?
The first one that I had is Keanu Reeves. I like that dude.
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
Yeah.
I just saw a thing where The Replacements, the movie that he had to take a huge pay cut so they could afford to get Gene Hackman to be a coach.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't care. Take all my pay. This movie's not going to be the same without Gene Hackman being the coach.
Yeah.
Dang.
And he said it was happy to do
And he
it.
doesn't get into that like Hollywood drama. It doesn't seem like.
No.
He's like,
Yeah.
F you. I know guns. I like guns.
Yeah.
I'm a badass.
Yeah. No, he is a badass.
What are the
I've gone
movies
to-
that you like?
I've gone to bat with Keanu. I think he's the best.
Okay.
I would put him. I'd put him.
I
right
just
there at
don't
the
think
top.
Joel knows who that is. That's the problem.
But see, that is the problem, and that's what I was going to get
so
into
show him the
next.
damn movies.
What's his? What's the recent movies?
Neo.
Well,
Matrix.
The Matrix is great. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
but those other
John
movies you
Wick.
have
Wick.
is
Yeah,
Wick.
Wick. The character that he plays in that. I mean, that's
So good.
He's such a
That's
bad
crazy.
He is such a bad. Like those movies are like how many
wanna
people
talk
are
about-
you gonna shoot?
Yeah,
man?
you want to talk about over the top.
Yeah.
But I hadn't watched them for a long time, and everyone's like, "You like the Matrix? You like Keanu Reeves? You haven't watched John Wick?" I'm like, "Nah, like come
Oh,
on,
dude, you gotta watch it.
So I did.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and
I saw the little the write up on it. It's like bad guys killed his dog. He's out for vengeance. I'm like, okay, so what's really going on here? So I watch. I'm like, oh, that's really what happened. And how don't you love that? They
Yeah.
killed his
Yeah.
dog.
yeah,
And what was but the thing about Keanu Reeves is that like he was coming up when we were younger.
Yeah.
So
And then he
yes,
kinda
yes,
phased
he is
out
a
a little
modern
bit.
actor.
Bill
but,
and Ted.
But he's not like one of the new guys. Whoa. Yeah. Speed. Mm-hmm. You know, he was a big
oh, I
character in
love
that, and
that
he was
show.
awesome.
Movie Speed.
Anyway, so that's kind of one that could be a modern influence. The other one that I had down here, where's he at? Oh, here it is. Chris Pratt.
Oh yeah.
What?
Okay.
Pratt.
Who is that?
You know Chris Pratt.
Oh,
So he-
okay.
Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
He did.
Is he the Gladiator
He was like
guy?
one of the more modern
No.
Jurassic Park guys.
Gerald Butler.
Oh,
He did.
He's in Jurassic Parks now.
That's right. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
just said Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
What was the
Guardians
one,
of the
Guardians of the Galaxy.
See, and I
Yep.
never watched those.
Yep. And
but-
if you
but
follow,
he's funny.
if you follow that dude on social media and like see who he is, outside of the camera or whatever, he's a solid dude. Like
Yeah.
that's somebody who I would be comfortable having my kid look up to.
He had a great little quote and a video that he felt he had to make before the Super Mario Brothers movie came out, and it was the one side already saying how there's microaggressions throughout this thing, and they're categorizing Italians. They're putting Italians in a box. And he goes, to all those people that think we're just going over the top and speaking like Italians, right? Big little meatball, like that. Watch the movie and understand, what we're doing here. And if you watch the movie and you still feel that way, well, then I can't help you. You have problems. Like he just straight up put it back on them, like, fuck you.
Nice.
I think he even cussed there. But if you haven't seen that movie, they are Italian, and they even address that. They're like, in the commercial, Mario, why aren't you talking like an Italian, huh? Why are you embarrassed to be Italian? He's like, look, people don't want to hear that, Mom.
Yeah.
what's the movie called?
Super Mario Brothers.
Oh,
The
we watch that?
But we haven't watched it. No.
Okay.
That was the first movie that we took all the kids to a couple
Okay.
years ago. And it was a smashing success, and they did a great job of balancing the nostalgia that we would want to see.
Yeah.
And incorporating a good storyline that kept everyone engaged, and Bowser's being a
Oh, we should see
bad
that.
dragon,
Yeah.
So no, it was really good. And Chris Pratt was Mario, and he caught flack before the damn movie even came out for,
It's like the
Being
modern,
mean to
like
Italians?
the equivalent of blackface.
Yeah,
like
kinda.
like you better not try to be a black guy. Like you're gonna be in big trouble. And now it's you better
can't
not
even
try
use
to
an
be
Italian voice.
Italian. Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. And also, like, a town's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah,
we're
like
fine.
they care.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's all the people that aren't Italian that care.
Have you
Freaking Mario.
guys ever? Okay, here's another guy that I think young men hold in high regard, and I don't know how to consume it or what to think of it. Have you guys ever heard of the comedian by the name of Drewski?
No.
He's a fat, pudgy black dude.
Okay.
Wears frosted tips usually, like dyed blonde hair on the top. And like his most popular skit, the funniest skit he does is Whiteface. He dresses up as a big fat white guy.
Isn't he on Blackish?
I don't know.
I think that's his show.
Drewski, but he's got endorsements coming out the wazoo. He's on everywhere. He's on everything. And people just don't know what to make of this Whiteface. Like, how do you attack this? Because he's running around waving a Confederate flag and just talking with the boys out on the porch like, oh, what kind of shotgun you got there? Oh, you got a Remington 1110. Oh, I love my Remington. Like, it's funny as hell.
This reminds me of this Instagram account where this is what they say every time. He's like, I'm going to take my black friend to go do white guy things, and this is my white guy friend. I'm going to take him to go do black guy things. And they do it every episode. The white guy goes into the hood and has to do something. It is so good. It's on, I mean, it's just good. They're literal best friends.
That's
but
real
they're
life.
it's real life. They're doing real shit. So he is a black guy making fun of white people. I don't take that personal.
Oh, it's funny as hell.
Exactly.
Like he's running around with white guys. Like they're the ones
that
driving
would
him
crack
around.
me up.
It is. It's
Okay,
funny.
I'll have to look
but
at
like,
it.
It's like, oh, but you shouldn't do that. You know,
Yeah.
like we make
No,
such a
who
stink of it on the other
cares?
side.
Oh my
Exactly. Like
gosh.
grow up.
Yes.
And also acknowledge that there is differences
There
between
is.
cultures, between neighborhoods, between cities. Like, shut up. And also, like, be proud. Be proud that you're from Philadelphia. That was what Stallone was talking about. Like, I'm a Philly guy from not the most affluent neighborhood, but I'm aspiring to be something. And I think that's what you're getting at, where our men should be. So, like, in a weird way, I think there are a lot of really good male characters out there, but you got to look.
Yeah,
they're not in our face.
There's so much noise.
enough.
Yeah.
I've got exactly that. I've got two things to close out with. One is exactly that. I think that there is still some positive influence out there, but it's like you said, there's so much noise. And what we get fed is all the drama.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, sure.
all the negativity, like, oh, this person got caught up in this scandal and this person's doing this and this person's doing that. Where meanwhile, the folks who are being good people, they're just cruising under the radar.
Or,
you know what I mean?
or
They're not getting
above it.
they're not getting the publicity.
Yeah. But
Like we don't see him.
Drewski's he just broke through the ceiling. He's like, no, I'm doing this. I'm doing whiteface.
Yeah.
Like when you're so bold and brash about it, like you don't have to play by these rules.
Yeah.
And so like I love that we ended up on Drewski and Chris Pratt. I think those are two great examples.
I just think, and I think guys like that, like Chris Pratt, they're not making a stink. Like they're not going out trying to be loud or whatever. But if you go talk to them, you're gonna get the real story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the second thing is, with that in mind, and originally I was talking about like how are we raising our boys and what are our boys seeing, is that what it comes down to is that it's so much more our responsibility today than really, in my opinion, than it ever has been as parents, to make sure that not only are we leading by example, but we are trying to point them in the direction to see the other figures, that are leading by example.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think the other side was always there, and we did highlight some things that were wrong with the '90s and the '80s. How things were kind of sugar-coated and packaged for you. But that's always been on the plate for parents. It's on you. You gotta have that example, and you also gotta know what they're kind of wrapped up in, but also give them the freedom to fall, to fail.
Yeah.
And okay, if you want to glorify this cowboy, this figure, there's going to be some shortfalls with that.
Yeah.
Like you gotta, I don't know, it's just a hell of a thing about parenting,
Yeah.
But where I will agree is there's the noise thing, that you can just consume so much in 15 minutes on TikTok.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's scary.
Oh, my kid right now today can have more influence on him in 15 minutes, 30 minutes of that phone and social media than I had in a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like it's influence and information coming in out of a fire hose.
Yeah.
You know?
And a lot of it is just AI slop or whatever. It's not even true. Like they're not even trying to make it into a real story. They're just, here it is. Ashley showed me something where like a 12-year-old boy in less than 10 minutes or less than 5 minutes or something could consume more like sexual stuff, like pornography stuff, than a king did at the height in the 16th century. Like where he's just running through, you know, all the things that kings get to have at his disposal. And just some 12-year-old with an iPhone now can consume more than he did in his entire life in less than 4 minutes.
It's insane.
Scary.
It is, and it's scary. That's where it is. But back to your point, I do think as parents, of course, it always comes back to us and maybe taking some of the things away that aren't good and putting some other things in front of them. If it is certain movies, if it is the phone, whatever, you know, there's always that. But, and then also to your point, they're going to fail. You know, you got to see them fail.
And that's a huge part of it. You're just reminding me of a great point. All good boys, good men have good women, and they need moms. They need moms that care, that are protecting, that are kind of shielding it. God, it's just such a balance that I think a lot of youth don't have, where they got a caring mother that's there, that's present, and a father that's protecting. That is, and you know, we've had Ashley on with teammates. I think there's a bigger a need for that, and the Boys and Girls Club, all those things. If people can find the time to help out with that, I think now more than ever.
Right.
It's just that influence. Forget about TikTok poisoning and YouTube and this and that. Grown-ups just need to be there.
The thing is just like this podcast, you know, we talk about that we're the silent majority, we're the 80%, and that's what is still out there.
Yeah.
Like that 80%, that silent majority is still, you know, when we're talking about the dudes that we're talking about, is still the Van Dams and the Michael J. Foxes and, you know, the Keanu Reeves and all that. It's just that they're not loud about it.
Right.
So it's there.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of pointing in the right direction and going after the right things.
Well, whether it's Sly, Sylvester Stallone, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Ted Bundy, or Ron Jeremy, I think everyone understood I'm not going to be that. Yeah. You know, you knew how to compartmentalize that. Yeah. You know, and there needs to be that balance, or there should be that balance. And and like you said, I think there are still so many great examples. Chris Pratt, that's a good one. Yep. Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
For sure. Yeah. All right. Well, we know what Joel's watching this weekend.
Yeah.
John Wick. Let's go.
Every so often, I go a deep dive on The Matrix, the trilogy movie, and the Animatrix.
Oh, God. Ben could watch that all day, every day.
Put Joel on that.
The Matrix. Yeah, that would be good for him to watch,
the
too.
Animatrix, too. I don't agree with it all, but...
I don't know if he's ready for that. I don't know if I want him thinking about the world like the Matrix right now.
Yeah, true.
It's a little troubling for me.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta.
How about John Wick? It's just he just went out there to save his dog and find the killer.
You gotta accept evil. You gotta accept that there's a force trying to influence you.
Yeah.
You gotta be aware.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got on that. It's going to continue to probably bother me for a couple weeks. I'm going to keep watching it.
Oh, so we didn't help you? I'm sorry.
No. It helps. Like I feel a little bit better because we brought to light some of the modern dudes and stuff that's going on. That's good.
I kind of feel like if anyone has any other, I wish we had like a chat room or something that
we get contacted a lot.
That people can be like, oh, they're listening, and they're like, wait, they forgot this person.
You're talking about getting guests on the show. I've gotten quite a few emails recently about people wanting to be guests or their publicists. But I'm like, look, we like to be in studio. So if you guys are in or around Omaha, we can meet you, we can grab you or whatever. But a lot of people like to just do the Zoom or the Skype type stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's too easy to do it that way, and it's not a great conversation. I don't think it does a lot of people justice, but I don't know. There'll be more people coming.
Yeah, reach out, leave some comments.
I mean, if there's a big banger or something, then we'll get them on Zoom.
On YouTube, obviously all the episodes are there. People comment on our YouTube things.
Yeah, true.
Often I'll get like an email, so-and-so commented or whatever, and we'll shoot something back to them. What we haven't talked about for a long time is if you listen on Spotify or on the Apple app, we haven't promoted getting reviews or anything for a while. Mm-hmm. We haven't had any for a while. So folks, if you got time, go in there, put in that review, that 5-star or that 1-star or whatever, and type a little something up.
You got to give them an actionable item. Give us in the comments. Leave one role model that we forgot to mention.
Yes,
whether
exactly.
From the 80s, 90s, or today.
Or if there's a guest you think you want on, just drop a name. Maybe we can get in touch. I mean, we like local people, and we like.
Oh, I'm sure people have ideas. Yep. So anyway, I guess that's it. Yeah. You guys got anything else?
No.
All right. Well, everybody have a good day. I'm going to shut it down.
Later.